Hello and welcome back to the Hayden Show. Yes, it's me, Hayden, and it's Tom. The weird fucking hat again.
I just like wearing the hat. It's, like, yeah, it's the one excuse I get to wear the hat. I've been complimented by Alec.
Yeah.
I feel naked now.
I thought you were taking the thing. I was like, I was taking your shirt off. I was like, I was gonna make you more naked.
I look like a hunchback now. Yes, master. Oh, I miss my hat. Anyway, what was watching this time, Hayden?
Right, yes, we watched a Resident Evil film.
Infinite Darkness.
That's the one. Yeah, watch that one.
It's the 4-episode CGI anime.
Mm-hmm.
So completely different anime style, but it's still technically anime.
Yeah, it's technically anime. That's good then. Fair though, it did feel like an entire cutscene. Yeah, it was like a really long cutscene, pretty much. That's what it felt like. But it's like a quality one. But you're waiting for like the weird like animation errors just pop off. Like the bit when she grabs like a bottle. I was expecting the bottle to just miss the hand, just float around.
But no, it actually looks good.
Actually, it look quite good. And there's some parts where the people look actually quite realistic. That's pretty well done. That's how you want your CGI to look. Like you think, is that real? Definitely, it's Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So we've got we've
bit like Supernatural. We had the knowledge. You have the knowledge before you watch it. If you played the games, if you watch the movies, you have some sort of knowledge of the franchise. So it doesn't have to explain everything like the other ones we've covered. But it has to explain obviously the plot and everything. This just has to be like, yeah, it's Resident Evil. There's a little plot here. It's zombies. There you go, done. It doesn't actually fully clip off the plot.
Yeah, it doesn't explain T-virus or Raccoon City.
It doesn't need to. You already know that going into it.
We know who Leon is. We know all the characters.
Yeah, you know who Claire is. You know, obviously, you just need to know these new characters that popping up here and there. But even then, it doesn't fully explain them because that's something you don't really need. Because you don't really need to focus on these other characters. It's Claire and Leon, the
main characters.
Names. It's not like a Project Alice situation. It was throwing in a random ass character and fully focusing on that character.
Yeah.
No, this focuses heavily more on Leon. This episode specifically. I know some of the next episode does split it between them. But the start of it focuses obviously on it's like a military. I mean, you said what is this, Call of Duty? It definitely feels like Res 5 and 6 at the start. Then it obviously fully starts. Obviously, you get obviously Claire. You get her for a little while before fully jumping to obviously the States, the presidency, and obviously meeting Leon. Before obviously giving obviously the two to meet at the end and be like, oh yeah, we're in the same film. Yeah, well, see you later on then. See you in a couple of episodes' time. Right, that sort of idea. So I mean, I don't think they'll come back together now to the finale. I think, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I watched it, but I mean, it's 4 episodes. That's probably the good thing with this. It's a short story.
Short and sweet.
It doesn't need to be anything massive. Because I mean, if you think about say you can have 5 minutes, say 20 minutes an episode. The 4 episodes, that's what an hour 20. Obviously, you add those extra couple of minutes, so you're looking at obviously just maybe an hour and a half, something like that. So basically the length of a normal film. So it's the idea of, they could have just dished it out as a big film, but they've done it as a series, which is a bit different. It's a bit different, basically. Because obviously, as I said, there are 3 other CGI animation films they've done already, which is Damnation, Regeneration, is it? And obviously Vendetta. I think the Regeneration one's kind of not that. I think it's called something else, but that's the first one. Then it's Damnation, then it's Vendetta. And obviously then they've done this, Netflix have. Obviously, this kind of tease, you're ready for the actual Resident Evil series that's coming to Netflix this June, I think it is. I think it's June. Or July. They announced it the other day, the actual official date. The official date, they announced it. It's either the start of June or the start of July, I can't remember off the top of my head, but they announced it recently. And obviously this is kind of their tease of it, kind of, because of the fact that it's obviously their first attempt at doing Resident Evil. It's like, okay, we've just done this.
Yeah.
Get ready for our actual live action hour-long episode series that's coming out soon. I mean, for 4 episodes, I don't think you can plan. I know when it came out, I think it actually got I'm gonna actually double check, but I'm pretty sure it got slammed really badly in terms of like reviews. I mean, you can sit for it in one sitting, really. You don't have to do like multiple sittings on this. It's like one straight sitting, like a film, basically. But if I remember correctly, it got fucking hounded when it first came out. Evil Infinite Darkness 2021. Critically 50%.
Jeez.
Audience 39%. It got really. That is from review. Critics, there's only 22 reviews there, and 39% is from 163. So there's more people reviewing it there. But honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I obviously remember reading the reviews like when it first came out and been like, "Oh shit, is this gonna be like really terrible?" But then I watched them all back to back. I was like, "That wasn't terrible. I actually really enjoyed that." I think it gets better as it goes along. So I mean, I checked it when I was watching it. It's like 12 minutes before you actually get like a proper zombie. I mean, you get the little tease at the start with the eye opening before the intro, but it's not till like the 12th minute you get this actual zombie sequence where they're fighting in the White House, which is a pretty cool sequence where you see characters obviously like, "What happened to you? I got bit, man." Yeah. You see all that, and obviously you see Leon like doing some really cool like gun things when he's fighting off Freon, bang bang, back shot bang, and then bang again. Like you see all these really cool like, moments. Obviously, it's all out action sequence, which is basically what Resident Evil eventually became. And obviously that just sets you up ready for the rest of the series, which she's going to deal with it, because I mean it ends on the submarine, which is a big part of the second episode, which I said to you was a really like cool horror sequence involving rats on the submarine, which is really fucking good. And obviously it all builds up to an actual Resident Evil G-virus villain, you know, big fuckers. It all builds up to that in the final episode. But I feel like for a pilot, the first episode, it does draw you in because it's a different type of anime style. Because most animes, as we've seen, all of them so far, they all look different art styles, but they all look like a normal animation. Whereas this, it's a CGI animation, so it's something different for an audience to look at. Plus, it's another entry within the Resident Evil franchise. That's not the random ass Project Alice entries. I mean, we said before this, they are entertaining popcorn flicks. They are something that, if it's on TV, you'll probably watch it. Or if you've got nothing else to watch, you'll throw it on. And then you got the new one, which tries to be more Resident Evil, but does too much. But this, I don't think does. I don't think it does too much. It does the right amount what you want. It does a slow build up, all out zombies, calm down, get ready for the next episode, that sort of thing. I mean, this is all buried within like a conspiracy storyline, which is something that you don't really see within these zombie things. There's never really like a conspiracy thing to do whatnot. This is all buried within that sort of aspect. And on top of that, there's a lot of there are references to the games. Obviously, they reference Raccoon City. They reference obviously Leon saving the president's daughter, which is Resident Evil 4. And obviously, technically speaking, Leon and Claire themselves are references to the games. Like there's little sort of nods to the past of Resident Evil within this, which I think is a nice little addition. Because I could have just ignored that. I couldn't. Like, they could have just like ignored, not mentioned even Raccoon City or anything to the games. But it's nice that they've actually acknowledged these moments from the games. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely. One of the ones that it's entertaining to watch, but in a good way. Like that's got a quite interesting story, and you want to, because we know Leon. We've got all the history of Leon and Claire. We want to see what happens to them. And it's like there's some definitely like it starts off with a little bit of confusion, like
it's all war based.
Yeah, like,
if you play Resident Evil 5 and the crisp part of Resident Evil 6, then it's not something that'd be completely new to you. But obviously, for someone who hasn't played them, then obviously you'd be like, "Why is this all war based? What? I know this has been like a sort of close quartered zombie thing, or like mutant people sort of situation." Like, but obviously, as someone who's played those games, obviously I know this has happened before. I mean, like the Chris part of Resident Evil 6 is probably my favourite part of Resident Evil 6 because I like Chris just like as much as I like Leon. But I mean, obviously it's jarring for people who would be like, "Oh, but this is obviously if they haven't played those ones, it'd be a bit." But obviously, if you play them, you know what you is expecting.
Like nowadays, Resident Evil has become more just the big mutant people. Really, like
it's delved more back into the horror because I mean, it was horror up until I want to say 4. That dealt with a lot more of the horror side of it. Obviously, because you had like Mr. X, fucking Nemesis. the weird people in Resident Evil 4. You had all the monsters and that up to that point. And then Resident Evil 5 and 6, yeah, kept the monsters, but went for more of a soldier dynamic. And it kind of dropped back on the horror side of it. Yeah, there was horror still there, but it dropped back. Whereas then obviously 7 and obviously Village have jumped back more into the horror side of it. Yeah. Village doing some werewolf shit.
Vampire stuff.
And vampire stuff, but it's not. It's obviously a bit further away from zombies now.
Yeah.
Whereas 7 wasn't. It wasn't fully zombies in that. It was obviously just like a virus like this.
7 was more like they're themselves
infected.
They're weird. Not zombies, but they're
like
insane.
They're like Res 4.
Heal.
It was like Res 4 basically, but obviously better graphics. But then obviously this is dealing more with the actual zombie side of it, for the fact that characters are literally saying, "Are we dealing with zombies here?"
Yeah. Oh, I've never seen a zombie before.
Yeah. So it's actually dealing with the zombie side of Resident Evil. This is not
where it started.
Yeah, where it started.
Back to formula.
Back to formula. Whereas obviously as it goes along, it deals with more the mutations and the weird stuff with the rats and whatnot. So for the first episode, it does heavily deal with basic Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And doesn't go too over.
Then it expands on it.
Yeah, expands on it with its rest of its obviously entries, which is pretty cool.
Definitely. And like most of the others, I do want to watch more.
I mean, I feel like the fact that when you know it's only 4 episodes, you're like, oh, I can actually sit through it. It's quite quick. And it's, obviously, you know, it's going to be like not a drawn out story, which you don't really need. You just need main characters from the games and zombies.
Because we've got all the history as well to it. That it's like, if you've ever played a Resident Evil game or even watched someone play it, or like you're gonna want to see more of it. Definitely.
I mean, I only played bits of them because I shit myself. I get too nervous. I'm a nightmare of horror games. I love horror games.
Yeah.
But they scare the crap out of me. If I'm playing with someone next to me, I'm fine. I can do it.
Or just watch someone play it.
But,
watch them do a playthrough.
Every time I play Village, I was just shit myself. I could go.
I
literally have recorded footage of Village of my stuff, and it's just such a slow playthrough because I'm just there going.
It's like you're watching horror films because
I fucking love horror
you're
films.
not the one making decisions. You're watching people.
But wait, from your
like, haha, funny.
From your perspective,
and you've got to make decisions.
And you've got to make that. You know, fuck, this is creeping me out. Then it's the case of shit. But the thing is, though, when I play Resident Evil games, when it goes into the all-out action part of it, I'm fine with it. Like you fight Big Booby Lady in Village. And she turns into a big dragon. I was fine with that. I found a good hidey hole and just stood in there shooting her.
Which means more suspenseful.
Yeah, but when it's like the bit when she's chasing you in the mansion, or castle, sorry, it was fucking freaky as fuck. I mean, just the sounds alone freak me the fuck out. Like you see, like, and it's like, Whereas this, it doesn't. Obviously, it has a lot of focus with the action sounds during like the suspense moments. It like goes out all because obviously it's all out action with those suspense moments. You don't need like it goes a bit all dark and scary, but then when it goes out all gun things, it replaces obviously the suspense with more action sounds. Like obviously not just the gunfire, but like the soundtrack in the back goes like stuff like that. So it definitely like goes more action personally. This episode does. As I say, the second episode goes more horror. That's why I like this series. It goes a bit different. Like it. First one focuses on the action side of obviously Res. Second one focuses more on the horror side. Can't remember the third one off my head. But then the fourth one deals with the more mutation side. So it's quite cool that
each aspect of the whole franchise
is merged into the episodes. Yeah, it's just something a bit different, really.
Yeah,
I mean, I do heavily recommend watching it if you're a Resident Evil fan. Check it out for yourself rather than just look at the critics and audience reviews because they're both saying it's bad, but personally, I really enjoyed it, and I never listen to critics or audience. I do my own judgment. So it's the idea of do your own judgment. And obviously, I also recommend checking out the other 3 CGI movies I did because they are pretty fun. They are really like cool to watch. Obviously, they're not as like crisp, clean animation style, especially the first one, which is from like 2008, I think. So it's not as crisp, clean as this. But as they went along, they did improve until they got to this point. Plus, they are pretty action packed and horror filled, which are really cool. I mean, the first one's set in like an airport where the virus hits. Second one obviously is a more bigger landscape, and then the third one deals with obviously a bit more mutations. I mean, the first 2 definitely have mutations in, but the third one heavily deals with the mutation side of it. Plus, she's got Chris and Leon teaming up, the 2 badass characters of the franchise teaming up to fight and save this woman. But I do recommend it. Yeah, it's just something different. Complete this entire series. So, what would you give it then? Because it's been something a bit different to what you've been seeing.
I would say 68.
Oh, for fuck! You got my hopes up then for 69.
Oh, maybe I'll save that for something later. Who knows?
You got my hopes up then. Okay, so if that's 68, that's 69.
Yeah, because it's interesting to watch, and I want to watch more. And it's good, but there's other ones I want to watch first. You know what I mean?
So there's not a lot to go off with in the episode, but you don't need to have that much to go off because of it being an actual cemented franchise.
If there was more episodes, it might have been a bit more higher because there's more story to tell.
But it's obviously it's like a movie length, basically.
Yeah,
so that's very simple. Obviously, that takes Be the Beginning 6th place.
Yeah.
While that slots into 7th. Well, we'll stick with Netflix anyway for the next one.
Oh yeah.
Another Netflix original, and then that's it. We got just 2 normal, actual kids-based ones for a change, like kid-friendly anime.
We've got all the dark stuff out.
We've got one more Darkness to go.
Oh, one more.
And then it's the kids ones after that. So obviously we'll do that. But obviously, your thoughts on the actual Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, not just the pilot episode, just the series in general, in the comments. If you enjoyed it, if you hated it, what you liked about it, what you hated about it, and how well you think it. What's the word I'm after? Like I can't think of the word I'm after here.
You okay?
No, the words just like slipped out of my mind. Like how well it. No, it's gone. Something to do with the franchise, like how well it
represents.
Yeah, let's go with that word. There's an actual word my mind's going, but I just can't think of it. Yeah, how well it represents the franchise, and yeah, I'll try and have my head on straight next time. It's the hat. I need the hat back. I need the hat back. It's my brain.
Literally.
I'll put that back on next time anyway. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one for the last horror adult anime before we go child friendly. The episodes won't be child friendly because we're going to swear the hell out.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, what we watch is child friendly.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And well, I'll see you on the next video.